everybody knows TikTok. American people made a decision in Congress to ban it on midnight, Jan 19th. The Supreme Leader of China said, no, we're going to use your court systems to litigate the American people so that doesn't happen. I can't do that in China. The Supreme Leader would never let me do that. I can't protect my IP there. Chinese have been screwing my 45 businesses for 35 years. I like the idea of going to war with China with tariffs to change behavior.
But it didn't change behavior. All it did was hurt American companies.
Weak leadership that doesn't know how to implement.
This is the same leadership. It was Trump who launched the trade war with.
Then it was Clinton saying, let's democratize China, let's show them democracy, and they'll play fair in the
But to Catherine's point,
it's time to raise tariffs to China to 400%.
Trump already raised tariffs on China. There have been many studies showing that U.S. companies and consumers are the ones who bore the cost.
Academic study. I'm doing real business in China. I'm actually doing business.
Yeah.
I'm actually working.
American companies.
There's no academics in my.
Where do you think they buy their inputs from?
Let me explain something to you.
From China.
The Chinese steal my IP. They make the same product with the molds that I pay for there. They ship them into this country under a different brand. I don't like it anymore, and I've been trying to solve this for 30 years.
America, multi-millionaire in America. If he's been doing business globally, country to country to country, and he's telling you how to deal with a country that has been screwing us and getting over and having influence in our country when we would never have that same favor in their country, and he's saying this would help us have more leverage in our greatest enemy, which is China, which has been said on TV multiple times.
No, it won't.
I trust his opinion.
He was the president in 2020.
What are you talking about 2020? They always bring up 2020.
In the seat at the White House.
2020.
You may not like what he did.
President Trump was president in 2020.
But I don't remember 9% inflation when he was.
I remember 18% unemployment. I mean, I remember.
What happened when that was going on?
A pandemic that he bungled.
So are you saying he created the virus?
No, but he absolutely made it worse.
How?
By lying about the risk, by telling people not to get tested. Don't get tested.
You're saying he should have personally cured the virus as the president.
I'm saying he should have given his tests to Americans rather than to
She did not say that. I mean, but okay.
I'm sorry. This idea that somehow because Trump was the president that the virus has political proclivities and decided to prolong itself has been crazy since it's been floated.
You don't think leadership mattered at all?
The virus? No, I don't actually.
You don't?
I don't believe the virus.
You don't think it matters? You don't think it matters that Trump withheld various kinds of testing kits and PPE from states that were asking for it, and then he told them to go buy it themselves,
So
and then
you think that was the masks? Is that what you think?
And then he outbid them for it, so they couldn't buy it. And then he sent it to Putin.
I was talking about virus.
I do want to get back to the
I mean, you are implicitly by pretending it didn't happen.
Republicans keep saying that this election is about the economy. Now, I guess it's maybe also about immigration, but it is about the economy when you ask voters.
Extend the tax cuts. He's going to rein in the federal government and the overburdensome regulatory state, which he can now do because of the Supreme Court. And he's going to take on these countries that screw American workers. That's the plan. And by the way, he's going to crack down on immigration to the benefit of American workers.
Billionaires like Elon Musk and right-wing media and anti-woman manosphere podcasts are creating social media or gaming social media apps like Twitter in Trump's favor and pumping disinformation into the brains of Trump supporters. Not because, unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear, but in small pockets among black and brown men too. This happens to be a global phenomenon as women become more economically independent and seek positions of power. But friend of the show Simon Rosenberg points out that just like in 2020 and 2022, dozens of right-wing polls have been dumped into the marketplace in the last few weeks, 12 in Pennsylvania alone. Those polls then swing the polling averages to the right, making Trump look strong and Kamala Harris look stalled.
That's what I'm talking about. Almost 100% of our representation are liberal. When you go to any city, any majority black district, the person that represents that area is a liberal. So when you're talking about a lie, you obviously don't know what you're talking about, because that's a fact. It's not a lie. Also, when you start talking about what white people have done to America, it's not what a white person has done. I don't believe in collective punishment. I'll make you responsible for what you did. I'm not going to hold you responsible for what somebody else did 100 years ago or what somebody else did today. I hold you responsible for your action. You hold me responsible for my action. In the same way, that some white people believe that black people are lazy, shiftless, and ignorant and whatnot. That's not me. In the same way that most of y'all believe they're on their knees begging and slobbering and asking for reparations, that's not me. I don't believe in collective punishment. I deal with you as an individual. Individual. Therefore, white privilege is a lie. I've asked you very simply to show me the white person that has privilege over me. Nobody stood up. Do you think you have privilege over me?
Yes.
You're crazy. You're insane. You have no privilege over me. Let's make this absolutely positively clear. You have no privilege over me, and if you got to show it to me right now.
It is not that I believe I'm better than you or that you are worse than me. I'm not trying to punish anybody. I'm acknowledging the system.
Was your implication there that the rest could have been free had they tried hard enough?
Or yes, if you just need sleeps, you either kill your master, you leave, you fight. Same way that what they did in Haiti. They've done it all over the country many, many times. I've seen people that even when they were free, they decided to go back into slavery. We're doing it now every day. People are choosing slavery every day of their life right now. Hell is a choice. Slavery is a choice. Freedom is a choice. And when you get that in your mind, you then can change your circumstances. But if you think you have no power over your circumstances, if you really believe that somebody else has control of your life and you can't change it, you're already beaten. It's done. Frederick Douglass escaped because he believed he was a free man. Nobody had a right to keep him enslaved. Harriet Tubman did the same. But the ones that said, the master has all control over me, I have no choice, they stayed because they were mentally beaten. And when you are mentally beaten, he has to do nothing else to you. You've already beaten yourself. So the ones that decided to be free, the ones that decided to risk death or kills for their freedom, yes, they made a decision. It's simply to show me the white person that has privilege over me. Nobody stood up. Do you think you have privilege over me?
Yes.
You're crazy. You're insane. You have no privilege over me. Let's make this absolutely positively clear. You have no privilege over me, and if you got to show it to me right now.
Alright, bro. Let me explain something to y'all. Tangibles, y'all know what that word means. That means something that's represented, something that can be used, manipulated. Let me explain something to you. If a candidate can't give you that, or candidate can't even promise you a lie, that means that their intent is worse than what you would think the normal person would be intending. Because you ever ask a person that you know for a fact is guilty of something, and you ask them the question about if they did something, and the first thing they do is redirect. For a person to redirect you, it's a sign of inner guilt. Let me explain something. This is a very, very interesting topic about guilt. I won't go into that. This is more about financial stuff and representation, and how this election can teach you a thing or two about what you should stand for, what you should stand up for, and what is really holding the person of color in America today back, or what should it be anyway. Now, if you haven't done something specifically wrong to someone, but you feel guilty about something you have done that maybe they may perceive negatively, or that you think you should not have done with this person, your guilt will be perceived the same way. This is why sometimes guilty people get assumed to be innocent, and then later on may tell them something, later on may implicate themselves in something different, which is why interrogation and stuff like that is useful. Now then, terrorists, like I said, for all my, you know what I'm saying, man from the hood, people like myself who maybe grew up having certain types of smarts, and street smarts being one of them, maybe economic things may not be so understandable, but like how to deal or how to make money may seem simpler to digest. A tariff is only a tax on goods, right? Meaning, if I want to come to your hood to sell my product, you charge me for me to go there, right? Now, if I make $1,000 a day, right? Your tax is $200. you would say, okay, well, that's harsh if what I need a day is 1,000. Meaning I may put an investment of 250 to 400, maybe 500 of that 1,000 that I made back, right? That may affect my bottom line. That may affect the people that I have to pay, right? So, but also, you got to think of what that would mean if that you believe that I'm making 1,000 and the true number is closer to 10,000. So now, someone else off rip because they hear the word 100 would be like, well, that person can make 1,000. That's their business. Why would you charge someone $200 per one day? It depends on how big the business is or how fast the business can move. Now, places like Wayfair, places like that resell goods, these sneaker companies that resell goods, you know, they get over. Because when you don't got to get taxed for a building or you don't got to get taxed for certain things, you make more money. So what happens is when we're hitting a country with tariffs, is because we already know that they're going to make more than what they tell us from their dealings out here. Like, okay, for instance, now you let this person onto your block, they pay you $200 a day. This is one person, you tell them you're the only person allowed to sell with them. Now, you're doing good and you're insinuating you're not, when you're doing well enough to supply a couple extra people with the same stuff. Now, this stuff can be sold somewhere else, but if that person or someone else controls that area, what do you do? Now, there's always a benefit in giving your runners and the people who's moving for you a little extra, and that can help them wiggle around. There are things in this life that you can't get with money, that sometimes you can't get with drugs. And other things, like I said, when the content is suitable, anything can get moved around that way. So what happens is that these companies or these countries that are basically making their money, and you gotta understand, whoever they're paying, whatever they're doing, is paying into comparison of the influence that they have in this country and what they can do. If that person got two other people and now that person or that block that they're at is now sponsoring them, right? Maybe they want them to sell some of their stuff. Now they got your work and that person work. They may be working for this person out getting money. This may be the opposition to where you're working at. Now you're paying $200. That's already a detriment to the person who let you get on. Because just by them giving you the green light for you to be there, you could plot against them, right? Just like any other situation. This is why you can't own a business and sell the stock just before it plummets, because insider trading is the same as plotting against your competitors by buying into other people's businesses. Like, this is what these countries do. They get in here and then they start to network with goods that sometimes are not even the brands that they look like. A lot of times are not even being taxed at the rate, right, of what the influence can generate. Now, what does that mean? This people, this places, I can get things on the arm, right? And now nobody's taxing me shit. So I'm able to move into any space and make money off of face alone. That's what people say, oh, that's off the face. That means your influence talks for you. Your influence means more to the next person because they know what they're guaranteed to be able to do because you're involved, right? There's people that know who they are in that regard or are able to command, and some people cannot. Now, I'm able to because of what I know. The knowledge oozes off of me most of the time from the preconceived notions that are derived from truths about me. By seeing the bullshit, they know I'm with the shits. Now, that's one conversation about terrorists and countries, people that understand that because we were a more aggressive nation with a different kind of ruler, a different kind of leader, know why these other you know what I'm saying, polities and these other areas are subject to us. Now that makes us an empire, makes us, you know, imperialism, makes us imperialistic. Granted, I'd rather be on the side of the cops and not get killed than be on the side of the criminals and get backstabbed and still killed by the cops. Now, does that make me a bitch? That makes me whatever, a snitch? That's fine. I'll tell on you, I'll tell on whoever. I'm not in the streets no more. I don't fuck around the way, you know, we all used to. I'm not with the shits anymore. But my point is, for representation, that's not what I represent. Right? So as it were, I'm not trying to give that impression, right? I know what kind of impression I get. And that's why it's off the face. But I can get off the face somewhere else, pause, so I'm a young kid listening. What I know I'm able to come in for people, you know what I'm saying, to respect in me, I'm also able to incite a certain level of worry in certain people. I was being grilled down. I'm with my son traveling for his appointment. And I'm being grilled down by 2 white cops. Blonde hair, blue eyes, I spoke both of them. And I'm on the path. And all I could think of, I was just in a city full of wildness, craziness, and completely. I come into my own town and I'm being grilled up and down like as if the fact that I'm there is what makes me a threat. Now, by definition, if I represent a certain thing or I'm leading in a certain way, what does that mean? Dressing, acting a part, that part will lead for me. If I'm looking all hip-hop gear down and I'm looking confident and capable physically, I'm a threat whether if I'm hip-hop, black, or anything. So, that's where representation comes into contact. So, do you represent the winning that you want to be doing? Are you moving in a way that you get the respect of what you want to accomplish? Oh man, never let nobody tell you you're a slave to anything, or that they're superior to you, or that you're the downtrodden. Fuck that narrative.
Kamala chose a white husband. Why can't black men choose a white president?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think that our reaction to being disrespected, we have to reassess how we react. You know what I mean? I think that we've been known as hip hop to make songs, and that's a part of it. And then we gotta go a step further, because I think that it's like a disease in your body. Once you start giving it a treatment, it'll get immune to the treatment.
One of the largest cities in America, Baltimore. Freddie Gray died in police custody a few years ago. The mayor was black. The head of the police department was black. Number 2...
it's not in charge of the system, but go ahead.
Number 2 person in charge of the police department was black. All the city council, Democrats, majority black.
Still not in charge of the system.
Wow. 6 officers charged, 3 of them were black. A judge before whom 2 of the officers tried their case found him not guilty was black.
Still not in charge of the system.
The city intendant of public schools was black. The county superintendent of public schools was black. The attorney general at the time, Loretta Lynch, is black, as was the president of the United States, was black. And yet,
still not in charge of the system. So I asked you a simple question, sir.
Well, Wanda Sykes said when Barack Obama got elected, how are you going to complain about the man when you are the man? Now, from the president to the attorney general to the state attorney to the mayor to the head of the police department to the commissions of the schools in the city and in the county to the majority of city council in that city, all of them are black. And you're still saying that we don't run anything?
So who's in charge of the system? No. I said who created the system. I didn't say we didn't run anything. I challenge a lot of them.
Wow. Wow, that's the best reaction.
Slavery for 400 years? For 400 years? That sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison.